You could be completely innocent and yet still get accused of academic misconduct and suffer professional and reputational harm. Here's the 7 mistakes to avoid. First, your writing suddenly looks completely different. Overnight, you've turned into Walt Whitman. Be prepared to explain how and why your writing has improved. If you spent the entire semester working on your writing skills, be prepared to show it. Number two, you can't explain what you wrote. If your professor says to you, "Wow, that was a great paper you wrote on the Supreme Court's decision in Citizens United versus FEC. What do you think of the dissenting opinions?" And you look at your professor and have no idea what to say. That suggests that you weren't the author of that paper. Number three, you rely upon sources that you never read. Now, you may not be engaged in any misconduct, but if you haven't thoroughly read the sources you've cited, how are you going to discuss them if asked about them? That's going to be a red flag, and that's when innocent people are accused of academic misconduct. Number four, you make major changes to your paper without saving your work. So let's say your professor grades a draft and says, this needs a lot of improvement. Then you turn in a final draft, which is incredibly improved. And the professor says, "How could you have improved this much in such a short period of time?" Well, make sure that you save your drafts so you can show the progression of the improvement and therefore not be subject to an academic misconduct allegation. Number five, you ignore your professor's instructions. Now, your professor may say, "This research paper has to be 15 pages, and I want it in Times New Roman, 12-point font." You turn in a 21-page paper in Courier New font. That's going to raise suspicions. Following instructions is the first step to avoiding an allegation of academic misconduct. Number six, you panic when questioned. If your professor says to you, "I think that there's some questions I have about your paper, namely whether you wrote it," and you start to sweat, your face gets red, you get defensive, you get emotional. You may be innocent, but the message you're conveying is that you're guilty. Number seven, you use artificial intelligence without knowing your school's policy. Now, you may have innocently used artificial intelligence just to do some minor stylistic edits, but make sure that you know the policy and you follow it. Because if you don't, an innocent mistake will become academic misconduct, and it will raise suspicions that your use of AI was far more extensive than you are representing. These are the 7 mistakes that make innocent people look guilty. Avoid them. I hope you found this video helpful. If you liked the video, hit that like and subscribe button. We'll see you soon.